Why did Ranil open a political office? Women oppose empowerment of women. Fonseca's book is worse than white flag claim. Why Patali frequents Amaraweera's home.
The leader, දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළගැස්ම.
Why did Ranil open a political office? For several months now, Sajith Premadasa, Anura Kumara Disanayake, Dilith Jayawira have all been campaigning for the presidential polls due before October 17th. But President Ranil Wickremesinghe is yet to officially declare if he will contest. Even those in his inner circle, such as Wajira, Ravi K, Sagala and Akila, are only getting hints by way of his various gesticulations. They have some understanding of what they mean. So, UNP Chairman Wajira Abeywadena got a political office opened for Ranil on Thursday. It is located opposite the Prime Minister's office at Flower Road, Colombo. Speaking at the opening, Professor Ashu Marasinghe said to wide applause that Ranil will be a certain candidate. It is the first to be opened publicly. Many more already exist unofficially. UNP national organiser Sagala Ratnayaka runs several of them in Colombo. One is at an apartment of a 5-star hotel for the Foreign Strategic Communications team that runs Ranil's publicity campaign. For the campaign in Colombo, a storied house from Kolpeti has been obtained. The social media team, managed by President's Director for Digital Media Keshal Jayasinghe, is housed at an apartment at Bambalapitia. Ravi Karunanayake, the UNP's National Secretary, has 2 offices at Bataramula and Rajagiriya. The former one, coordinated by Hemakumara Gunasakara, a close associate of the President, is geared towards civil society work. The other one houses the social media comment army, with journalist Ushanta in charge. Newly appointed UNP Treasurer Firo Farouk is going to have an office at Park Road in Colombo 5 to organise the leaders of the Muslim community. President Wickremesinghe will open it soon. Mahindananda, Prasanna and Kanchana trio from the SLPP2 are having a campaign office for the president at Malalasekara Mawata, the same place where an ousted Gotabaya Rajapaksa spent a few months after his return. Nimal Lanza's New Alliance office is located at Rajagiriya, with Siripala Amarasinghe as its CEO. Those are the known ones only. Many more exist elsewhere. Rather than promoting Ranil, their main task is upping their own images to face an impending general election. Ranil is taking his time to make his decision official. Previously, he said the announcement will come in Matara on the 16th. Looks like the meeting itself has been cancelled. His intention is said to keep his silence until mid-July. Basil discussed this matter with Sagara Karyawasam, Willie Gamage and Damika Pereira recently. Although Ranil is asking for more time to entice SJB MPs, it is unlikely anyone will join him. Even with our support he cannot win, said Basil, and asked Damika to be ready for any eventuality. Damika replied that he would wait for about 4 weeks more. If there's no final decision, I'll continue with my DP education work, Damika said. However, reliable diplomatic sources confirm Ranil will be certain to contest. So our own politicians are unaware of what the foreigners who run our country already know. Women oppose empowerment of women. Government MPs met as usual on Monday with President Wickremesinghe at the chair. The focus was on providing relief for the people affected by the extreme weather. Mahindananda Aluthgamagai said the relief allocation of 450 rupees per person is inadequate, with the others agreeing. The president promised to get it increased. Madura Withanajay accused wildlife authorities of preventing the removal of trees fallen onto houses. Pavitra Waniyarachchi, the minister in charge of the subject, said that is being done within 4 hours if informed. Madura said that was too late, and Mahindananda said people should be helped in time of a disaster without considering rules and regulations. Pavitra said she cannot change laws. Ranil said people themselves remove fallen trees and said the attention should be on their safety. When Kanchana Wijesekara brought up the CEB bill, Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said water distribution is affected by electricity supply disconnections. Kanchana pointed out it was a safety measure with supply cables underwater in certain areas. The ministry secretary said pumping stations will get a separate power supply soon. Then the Women's Affairs Ministry Secretary explained the Women Empowerment Bill. Ranil questioned how amendments were brought in at the Sectoral Oversight Committee without the minister's knowledge. They should have cabinet approval too. That committee cannot change bills, he said. The ministry secretary said the amendments were suggested by the Women Parliamentarians Caucus. Whoever brings them, the due process should be followed, Ranil said, claiming officials prevented its presentation and no female minister has been able to do it so far. As a man, I had to submit it, he said sternly. Everybody knows what happened after the meeting ended. Mahindananda waited for Gunatilake, with whom he had a running dispute over the allocation of development funds for Kandy. When Mahindananda grabbed him by the collar, a frightened Gunatilake yelled that he had undergone bypass surgery. By the time others arrived, he was already on the floor, crying out that his leg was hurting. He was seated on a chair, and officers attached to the Presidential Security Division looked for the President's ambulance, but it had already left. So Gunatilake was taken by wheelchair to the medical centre at the Presidential Secretariat. After basic treatment, he was taken by ambulance to the Army Hospital. Fonseca's book is worse than white flag claim. A piece of gossip in Deshaya newspaper refers to what SJB MP Sarath Fonseca is doing these days. It did not give names, but the references are very clear. Although the party's chairman, he is at odds with the SJB and intends to go on his own journey. He even plans to run for president again. He got a suggestion from the husband of the female MP who got unseated recently that he should join the government along with some other MPs. Knowing that some in the government will not welcome him, he still remains undecided. In the meantime, the book he is writing, in both Sinhala and English, is planned to be launched around June 28th. Sarasavi publishers are publishing the book said to be having around 800 pages full of things so far unheard of about the war. Previous books were written by a couple of generals, but this time the field marshal who commanded them all himself is writing his version of the war. Some wonder what his book will lead him to after his white flag talk during the 2010 presidential polls left him in courts and behind bars. It arose from an interview he gave to Sunday Leader journalist Fredrika Jansch. The book seems to surpass even that interview. He well knows that he cannot set foot in the United States or any Western country due to the war crimes accusations against him. His 2 daughters are married to US citizens and are settled there. Each has 2 children. All are dual citizens. Fonseca may not be able to go to the US, but they are free to visit him here any time. Anyway, Fonseca is a stubborn character. Friends asked him to dilute the book. But he is not listening. It would well be the beginning of his campaign for the presidency. Critics say his vanity as a general worsened when promoted to the rank of field marshal. That does not suit politics. If not for that, he would have gone a far longer journey in politics by now. Why Patali frequents Amaraweera's home? The Sri Lanka Freedom Party is not opposed to supporting President Wickremesinghe in the event he contests, says the party's acting General Secretary, Duminda Dissanayake. He told journalists on the 6th that a final decision is yet to be taken. He also said the SLFP has resolved all its internal issues by now and is strengthening itself to prepare for elections. Duminda claimed they have formed the biggest alliance of all under the SLFP. That alliance holds its inaugural rally at Ambalantota town on Saturday. Minister Mahinda Amaraweera is its organiser. Participating will be Nimal Siripala de Silva, Lasantha Alagiawane, Susil Premajayanta, Duminda Dissanayake, Nalin Fernando, Anurayappa, AHM Fuzi, John Seneviratne, Suren Raghavan, Jagath Pushpakumara, Nimal Lanza, Priyankara Jayaratne, Angajan Ramanathan, Jagath Priyankara, Ali Rahim, Isuru Devapriya, Pasandayappa, Priyantha Pathirana, Ananda Sarath Kumara and Nishantha Sri Wanasinghe. Incidentally, Wanasinghe is from Ambalantota. It is unclear if he is attending as Patali's representative or due to his own plans. Other notable figures who will go on stage there are former mayors Stanley Dias and Diane Lanza, and ex-chairman Indika Jayasinghe and J.K. Rahuman. So will Gotabaya Rajapaksa's former private secretary Sugiswara Bandara. Lanza says their new alliance will become bigger in size by joining forces with more parties, groups, trade unions and civil society organisations. Their main aim is to make Ranil president again. Anyway, they are discussing a plan B in the event he withdraws at the last moment. The main contender in his place is said to be Nimal Siripala de Silva. Also under consideration is a national leader acceptable to the United National Party non-Rajapaksa camp in the SLPP, SJB MPs who reject Sajith Premadasa, and the Amaraweera faction of the SLFP. Other names proposed are Sarath Fonseca, Patali Champika Ranawaka, and even Rajitha Senaratne. Patali is said to be the frontrunner, after he managed to bring many opposing parties to the conference of the United Republic Party at the Sugathadasa Stadium recently. It seems he now frequents Minister Amaraweera's home. So the Ambalantota rally will be decisive in the race for the presidency. Also it poses a challenge to the Rajapaksas, whose Hambantota bastion has gone unchallenged for some time now. That's it for today.